Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Please ensure you subscribe if you haven't already so you never miss our newest videos. Also hit that alert bell to keep current with all of our offerings. Today's topic is not only interesting but also very important for everyone handling challenging relationships, especially those involving narcissists. We will investigate the idea of a no contact and learn what narcissists truly expect of you should you choose to follow this road. You understand how emotionally taxing and psychologically stressful a relationship with a narcissist can be if you have ever been caught in one. Narcissists leave you wondering your own sanity and distort reality such that everything about them seems different. Masters of manipulation, they dominate by means of charm, guilt, and gaslighting. But what precisely goes through their minds when you at last decide enough is enough and decide to apply the no contact rule? Their expectations of you are what? Let's first define what no contact entails. Whether in person, over the phone, or on social media, it's the intentional decision to break off all kinds of contact with a narcissist. It's about shielding yourself from more injury, not about punishing them. Although this is a strong tool for healing, it can also set off a variety of emotions from the narcissist. You see, narcissists depend very much on their sources of narcissistic supply. They thrive on attention, respect, even conflict. You upset their whole life when you shut off their supply by avoiding interaction. They may first seem perplexed or even apathetic, but when reality sets in, their aspirations and expectations show more clearly. When you go no contact, narcissists secretly want for you to break down and reach out to them. They live on control. Hence severing links removes that control. They could tell yourself you will miss their charm, humor, or even their anarchy. You cannot possibly live without them. They typically play the victim part to perfection, hence they could also hope you would feel terrible for leaving them. In their perspective, you are the irrational one who deserves their pity and final return as the wronged one. Many times, narcissists will try to set off a response from you meant to violate the no-contact guideline. They might offer memories they know will appeal to your emotions or send cryptic messages via social media. They might even indirectly interact via family members or mutual friends, therefore constructing a story that presents them in a more sympathetic light. Though it's only to tell them to stop, they believe these strategies would get under your skin and inspire you to contact them. Furthermore, something narcissists yearn for is validation of their own value. Going no contact basically renders their significance in your life useless, something they cannot readily absorb useless. They must believe they are indispensable and that their absence from your life leaves a hole only they can complete. They want you to openly admit to missing them, therefore verifying their conviction about their indispensable nature and supremacy. Narcissists also dream of a day to re-enter your life on their terms. When you go no contact, they may spend a lot of time and effort figuring out how to get you under their control again. They could seem to alter, trying to be more sensitive and attentive. Often just another ploy for control. This is meant to entice you back into their orbit before they resume their regular activities. Moreover, narcissists expect the no contact period will help you to forget the negative events and only recall the positive ones. Time and distance will help you to soften your memory of their poisonous behavior, so you will begin to question whether things were truly as horrible as you believed. Basically, they want for your memory to be selective, emphasizing the times when they were charming and joyful and conveniently ignoring the suffering they brought about. Some narcissists could even expect for a dramatic reunion at the end of the period of no contact, therefore supporting their view of a romanticized, turbulent relationship story. Many times, they see themselves as the stars of their own film, where the script calls for great gestures and fervent apologies. They want you to be merely fulfilling your part in this story by avoiding touch, and then you will come back to them for the dramatic climax. Narcissists may also want for a time when you violate the no-contact rule out of frustration or rage. Any kind of touch to them is preferable to absolutely none. They might purposefully set you off, expecting you to confront or lash out against them. This lets them interact, protect themselves, and maybe control you into re-engagement. Negative attention to them still counts as attention. Deeper down, some narcissists dream of a chance to be the martyr. Going no contact gives them the ideal backdrop to portray themselves as the misinterpreted hero or victim of the narrative. Seeking compassion from anybody who will listen, they may tell stories of how they have been mistreated, misinterpreted, and abandoned. Painting you as the villain will help them to get the approval and affirmation they so much need from others. Not all narcissists will respond the same way when you go no contact. Some could grow hostile, seeking to threaten or bully you into breaking the quiet. Others might withdraw, at least momentarily, healing their injuries and organizing their next action. Whatever their strategy, their underlying message is their desire that you would finally stumble back to them. Knowing what narcissists want from no contact can help you to keep strong in your choice. Remember why you first chose this road: to heal from the emotional upheaval and to guard yourself from more damage. Though your clarity and conviction in avoiding contact will be your best friend, narcissists are adept in causing uncertainty and doubt. Healing from a relationship with a narcissist is a trip. Going no contact is a major turn in that road. Understanding the strategies and goals of the narcissist can help you to equip yourself to resist their efforts at control. Recall that your value or reality is not defined by their dreams and wishes. Free from the poisonous effect of a narcissist, you have the ability to select a road of healing, development, and self-compassion. We greatly appreciate you viewing and for being a part of our community. Should you find this video useful, kindly thumbs up it and forward it to others who might find it so. Remember to sign up for the channel to access further items like this. We value your help and look forward your appearance in the upcoming video. Take care, keep strong and empowered.
Today marks the beginning of an exhilarating journey into the enigmatic realm of aging narcissists. Traversing its winding paths, we find that aging is a rugged expedition. Our vigor wanes, an atmosphere of fear envelopes us, and the looming specter of death casts its shadow. Yet, amidst this unpredictable landscape, we glimpse the treacheries that time has wrought upon us. We harvest the rewards of our toil by unearthing the fundamental truths that define our essence. As we embrace the profound joys of enduring bonds with loved ones and steadfast assurance, our superficial desires gradually relinquish their hold. People who are naturally narcissistic find it harder and harder to show thanks as they get older. They feel weak, scared, and angry as they see the years going by and see that the source of selfish nourishment is drying up. As they get older, narcissists who depend on external factors like looks, money, fame, connections, or job successes to boost their fragile sense of self-worth lose their defenses, their allure fades, and they lose control over others. They used to be in charge of their social circles and use sneaky ways to manipulate others, but as they get older, their circle gets smaller. They can't count on their physical attractiveness or charisma to get people to do what they want anymore. As their good looks fade, they become less important in a society that loves young people. This makes it harder for them to hold on to power, control, and a weak sense of self-worth, which leads them to the depths of despair. As time goes on, narcissists face a harsh truth. The ways they usually get narcissistic material start to fail. Narcissists build their identities on shaky ground, while emotionally mature people base their lives on love, healthy relationships, and a feeling of belonging. They have trouble making real connections because they aren't emotionally or psychologically intelligent. Instead, they depend on external validation, superficiality, and love to keep their fragile egos up. Keeping up this reliance on outside approval gets harder for them as they get older. As people get older, narcissists face big problems because their normal strategies stop working, leaving them struggling to find their way in a social world that is changing. Because of this, they often abuse, take advantage of, manipulate, become overly sensitive, get angry, and be self-centered. The trip for an older narcissist is without mercy and grace, and it is marked by a slow loss of mental and physical abilities. They used to be very strong, but now they look weak and wilted, nothing like how they used to be. When they look at themselves in the mirror, they are shocked and angry, and they refuse to accept how weak they are becoming. It's a protest against the monotony that is threatening to take over their lives. They are used to being admired and loved, so they can't get used to being alone and sad. Narcissists don't get wiser or closer to family and friends as they get older like most people do. Instead of becoming more self-aware and empathetic, they take their harmful traits to a whole new level, becoming worse versions of themselves. Narcissists who are getting older end up stuck in their own fantasies and can't face the fact that they are getting worse. As time goes on, they become more and more alone and sad, a terrible reminder of what happens when you live your life trying to be liked and accepted. Getting through the waning presence of a narcissist is an emotional run that drains you to the point of exhaustion. Even though getting older is hard for everyone, the narcissist strongly opposes its natural progress. They don't accept the passing of time with grace. Instead, they strongly fight it, refusing to learn from its lessons or find wisdom in its journey. Like ponds that don't move, they don't have any growth and haven't gained the wisdom and calmness that come with time. As their power fades, their personalities become more noticeable, driven by a desperate need to keep control over the people around them. They become bitter, defensive, and intimidating as a result of their behavior. As the years go by, our true selves grow and show what kind of person we are. If we were naturally kind when we were young, it only gets better with age. On the other hand, people who hold on to negative see it grow over time. But for narcissists, getting older brings out their worst traits in a bigger way. Desperation, delusion, anxiety, anger, abuse, and loneliness. The old ego still can't find wisdom or humility because they are so set on their sense of entitlement. Instead of growing up in a mature way, time only makes their expectations stronger, expecting others to always pay attention and follow their lead. Under the surface, they are frustrated, and when their wants aren't met, they lash out in angry rants and manipulative behavior. Manipulation is the most powerful tool that an older ego has at their disposal. They have been practicing the dark art of gaslighting for years and have a group of loyal followers who help them carry out their plans perfectly. As we go through life, the layers that hide our true selves slowly come off, showing who we really are. Indeed, this discovery is true even for narcissists, whose once glowy appeal fades over time. Aging narcissists use different methods to control and manage the people around them because they can't easily captivate them with their fading beauty and charm. They use people's sympathy and guilt about their getting older as a tool to get what they want. At first, narcissists who are getting older may strongly deny that truth is creeping in, desperately holding on to the remnants of their youth. They look at every wrinkle and gray hair with great care, desperately trying to look young to go against what society thinks of getting older. But there is a greater truth behind this mask. Getting older shows the true nature of narcissists by showing how they only care about themselves and how easily they can be manipulated and envious. When they see other people's success and happiness, it makes them feel jealous and painfully reminds them of how inadequate they think they are. Most people deal with the inevitable knowledge and grace that comes with getting older with grace, but narcissists are different. Their never-ending need for love and attention only gets stronger over time, pushing them to do desperate things to make up for the fact that they are becoming less attractive. They are always filled with anger and bitterness, which makes it hard for them to get along with other people. Many people find a deep sense of satisfaction as they get older, especially as they reach their 50s. Narcissists, on the other hand, find this time of life impossible to get through. After spending their whole lives being in charge and dominant, getting older becomes an enemy they can't beat. Narcissists who are older often have to deal with broken relationships. People who are no longer with a bad partner move on because they can't stand being around them anymore. Even their older children, who are aware of how manipulative they can be, set limits to protect their own families, often by pulling away or breaking off all ties. Money problems make it harder for narcissists who are getting old. They are known for showing off their wealth in a showy way, and they often spend a lot of money to keep up the appearance of being rich. But as resources run out, money becomes a cause of conflict, making their problems even worse. They can't control their impulses, which leads to expensive addictions and growing debt that makes them open to losing money in old age. Narcissists who are getting older desperately try to stay in charge and feel like they are still important while they are going downhill. They protect their fragile sense of superiority by putting down others based on their race, gender, or any other trait that makes them different. This keeps them from facing their own fears. This defense system keeps up their false idea of themselves as divine beings. Narcissists are amazing at finding flaws in other people and situations and making them seem much worse than they really are. As they get older, their standards become less realistic, which makes them unhappy all the time. They have a fragile ego and an inflated sense of self, which makes it hard for them to accept their flaws and limits as their power fades. To keep up the illusion that they are better than others, they make up stories that put the blame for their fall on other people. Surprisingly, narcissists who are older become even more self-centered. It may sound crazy, but narcissists become even more obsessed with themselves as they get older. When the admiration they used to get for their looks, money, or intelligence fades, they focus even more on the person they love and hate the most, themselves. As a crisis, getting old brings up a lot of physical and mental weaknesses that are only found in narcissists. When they feel the weight of guilt, it shows how much harm they caused others when they were young. The threat of revenge looms over them, a scary reflection of the people they hurt in the past. Narcissists will never understand the idea of accountability because it is so foreign to them. They believe they are victims and blame others for what they think are their mistakes because they are so angry. They are always looking for someone to blame as they deal with the thought of losing power or respect that they thought was theirs. It's still hard to imagine owning up to a life gone wrong. As they get older, their anger, spite, and hatred grow, and they are sure that the world has cheated them out of what is rightfully theirs. They start to remember incredibly few things, conveniently ignoring their own mistakes while passionately portraying themselves as victims all the time, enjoying the allure of self-pity. With age, they lose some power over their actions and thoughts, so they hold on tighter to them. As their defensiveness grows, they become more likely to lose their cool when their authority is questioned. An old narcissist's temper gets shorter, and their feelings start to become more erratic and hard to predict. People who put on a nice front often have anger that is just below the surface, ready to explode at the smallest provocation. Aging narcissists feel entitled to act without control because they think they are better than others. They use their advanced years as an excuse to hurt others without feeling bad about it. They have never heard of reciprocal relationships, and because they don't care about or understand their partner's lives, they can't make real bonds. Their only goal is to have their wants met, and they expect constant love and attention from others. Their relationships are naturally exploitative and sometimes bordering on parasitic, as if they think they have the right to control and own the people around them. Navigating the company of an older narcissist can be difficult because they keep acting out. Aging narcissists are a sad sight when the curtain falls on their last act. After reaching adulthood, a lot of people are stuck in a lonely life without any family or friends to talk to. People who saw how bad the narcissist was in the past have left them alone, and their once imposing presence has been reduced to a sad echo of the unhappy soul they once were. In their youth, vanity was always by their sides, but now it often leads them into bad relationships. As the narcissist reaches middle age, they are less likely to get married because they have fewer children to share their life with. With all of their connections and bridges burned, they are living a lonely life that lacks the vitality of life, like a hollow shell ready to be embraced by death. In the last few years of their lives, narcissists experience a strange separation as they see their power, control, dominance, grandiosity, and webs of lies fall apart. But in the settling dust, all that's left is a weak, insecure person who is consumed by fear and painful loneliness and refuses to accept reality's firm grip. Chapter 4. Never forget how strong an older ego can be. If you let down your guard, bad things can happen. Even though they are getting older, they can still get into your thoughts, feelings, needs, wants, goals, and dreams and turn your life into a living nightmare. No matter what age, dealing with an ego is hard. Aging doesn't make people wiser or more humble. Instead, it makes them stronger in their old ways, which makes them even more dangerous enemies. Knowing this makes it very important to protect yourself from their tricks, abuse, and attempts to control you. Set clear limits, put your health first, and stay alert to their harmful behavior. Your safety and peace of mind are the most important things. The goal of this video is to give you a full picture of how old narcissists become distorted versions of their worst selves, leaving you feeling emotionally drained. If you liked, shared, and learned something from this video, please help my channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Don't forget to click the bell icon to find out about new movies. Thanks for watching. Together, we're trying to bring more attention to this issue and help people live better, happier lives.
Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Please ensure you subscribe if you haven't already so you never miss our newest videos. Also hit that alert bell to keep current with all of our offerings. Today's topic is not only interesting but also